Welcome back once again, Wildcat fans. How's it going? Brad Welburn back with you for another LC Coaches Show with our softball coach, Bobby Buchanan, as we chat about, we were going to chat about some games that were actually supposed to have been played on Tuesday. But, again, weather and all those things. But they do have some games scheduled for the upcoming week, and we'll talk about kind of what the team went through last week as far as preparing through the week in preparation for these big games coming up. So we talked to Bobby last week about, the plan was to kind of work on the mental part of the team and the part of the game, because you felt like those first two games at Millsaps, that was the biggest issue with not having the success that you were hoping for. So during the week and after we talked last week, I mean, do you feel like the team is now in a better spot, having had a few days to kind of work on that specifically to prepare for what's coming up this weekend?
Absolutely. I mean, we did work on our mental game. We worked on our approach, we worked on our routine, we worked on plate discipline, all those things that I felt that we struggled with. And if you ask Maddie Stein today, she would say we're a better team. And we may not have had the practices that we necessarily wanted outside. Mm-hmm. But in the cage we were still doing stuff. Our outfield was pretty wet, but on the infield we're still doing stuff on the turf, and so we did what we could with what we could. And I talked about last week not letting things that we couldn't control us. Right. And I think we controlled the things that we couldn't control.
Yeah. So planned originally to play a couple games against Centenary on Tuesday of this week. If you looked on the Twitter and the website and everything, those games got moved until March 13th. So exactly a month postponement there on those games that will be played, but just next month. That was, like you said, due to field conditions and sort of thing. It just didn't really line up. So to not have played those games, I think you guys still practiced yesterday a little bit, or on Tuesday, and preparing even more so for the big series coming up, ASC opener against ETBU. So what's the mode of the team, or the mood of the team, as you are one day closer now without having played earlier this week?
We're still excited. I mean, they still got to come to us, and ETBU is one of those teams that the pressure's always high. It's one of our rivals, and it's always a good game. So I think that no matter what, we're going to be in tune. We're going to be focused in because of who it is. Right. And so I'm excited to see them come over here and see what we can do. And we talked about setting our own thermostat, and a thermostat controls temperature or controls the environment. And so we talked about controlling our environment, and if we can control our own thermostat and crank it up real high, we'll get them sweating a little bit. So.
Yeah. And we've talked about it the past couple of times. One of the things that you guys want to focus on this year is applying pressure to the other team, and a big part of that is being able to get on base, specifically with the top of the lineup. With Shelby did a good job of that against Millsaps. Yeah. Sammy as well. Those speedsters sort of at the top. So I mean. And it's no secret, ETBU saw them play last year. They know kind of what to expect from those two specifically, and then of course Maddie and all those others. But do you, as a new coach, are you able to maybe use them in a little bit different way than what ETBU is expecting? I
think so. We even Millsaps and we scrimmaged LSUA or did a joint practice with them, and they were saying that what we were doing is completely different than what they're used to seeing. Shelby Bejeron stole third and against Millsaps, which is a big deal to do, and against LSUA, we had some of them stealing home. We had some of them doing double steals, and we're moving around and we're applying pressure, and we're not letting off the gas ever. So.
Right. So big game scheduled for this week. Like you said, on Friday you got a doubleheader starting at 6 p.m. Second game scheduled for 8, and then on Saturday at 12 o'clock. Hopefully, as a baseball and softball coach, is this time of year you turn into not only coach and all these other things, but you turn into weather guy as well. So yeah. I know you're looking closely at the weather. So what are your thoughts now? I mean, obviously, stay tuned to the Twitter and everything in case there is some changes. But what's the situation right now?
Hopefully, we get them in.
Yeah.
Because there is a slight chance of rain, but our field seems to be draining better than it was, a couple weeks ago, and we're trying to cut the grass down low. That way, the water's draining off,
right.
and so we're doing everything we can on our part to make sure that the games are going to be played because we want to play them. I think that we can get W's this weekend, and so I want to get as many W's as we can. So if we have a chance to play, we want to play. So.
Yeah, and I don't think it can be understated too much. And I hope I don't know what your approach is to this weekend, but with ETBU and the reputation they have of being perennial nationally ranked, and they're already nationally ranked this year, but it being the first conference weekend as well. Does that add some more maybe pressure or importance to what the series is as it is?
I always think of it as just another game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in big games before. I know they've been in big games before, and so I think if we just look at it as hey, this is another team. No matter what the uniform says, this is who we're playing. But I mean, at the end of the day, if we do get a win against them, or a couple wins against them, or all 3 wins against them, you can call those signature wins or whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, the game's still softball, and it exposes whoever isn't doing their job right. And so the game doesn't lie; it just exposes. So.
Right. So keep it locked, like I said, folks, to Twitter and to Facebook and to the website, just in case things get rescheduled or shuffled around a little bit as the weekend progresses. But as it stands right now, Friday 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock for the first 2 games of the series with the ETBU right here at Wildcat Park. So make your plans for that, and then the noon finale on Saturday afternoon right here at Wildcat Park. So should be a fun weekend. A lot of stuff going on around campus with baseball, basketball, and softball and everything. So just come hang out all weekend long, and you'll find something to do. But check out the Wildcats and their home opener as well. I didn't even mention that home opener on Friday evening with the doubleheader. So thanks again for watching this week, Bobby T. Good to see you again. I'm Brad Welburn. We'll see you next time.